there's something called dwell time, right? When people are standing there fueling up their pump or fueling up their car, there's this 3 to 5 minute time that they're really not doing anything, right? So we saw an opportunity really to capitalize on that dwell time, that 3 to 5 minute timeline, and we found the technology, which was available through the display screens that you'll see here in Knoxville. And we found the content management system and the software to support it. And we launched with a handful of sites. We launched with 6 or 7 sites here in Knoxville, and started getting smarter about the business, started growing the business, scaling the business, then got into the software development side of the business. So we saw this dwell time opportunity, but then when we got into the convenience store business, we started to understand that it was important for them to sell the products inside the store, right? The high profit margin item products are located inside the store. The coffee, the fountain drink, that's where a C-store operator makes his money. It's not at the pump. The problem we found out though was that 63% of everyone that stopped to fuel up, they drove away. They never went inside the store. So they weren't actually buying high profit margin items. So we developed software. We really got into understanding people's purchasing behaviors and what affects their purchasing behaviors, and built this company as really moving it from, I would call it kind of this hardware-centric ad sales company to a software-centric merchandising company, which you see right now out in the marketplace. I mean, effectively what we're doing is every C-store location has its own unique, customized channel, right, or network. So what you might see in Bearden is totally different than what you might see over in Farragut, right, where the demographics are very different, brand preferences are very different, traffic patterns are very different. Well, our content and our content playlist is built off of those variables. Variables like time of day, variables like temperature and weather, household income. And then the playlists are scheduled based on those variables, right? So you have these unique networks across the board. And right now we're available in 135 locations across 5 states. So you can think about it, we have 135 unique networks or channels that are now being distributed out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So yes, it's quite complex. I think the biggest challenge for us is how we keep up with how quickly we believe we're going to scale. One of the biggest challenges for the entire C-store industry right now is something called EMV compliance, which is basically the chip and the pin, right, that you're being switched out on your credit cards right now. What's happening is that they're having to switch out their point of sale systems where you swipe your card. So there's a huge technology upgrade, upwards of $6 billion in infrastructure upgrade happening right now. We're riding that wave, but we're waiting for that wave to really take off, and it's starting to take off now. By October of 2017, next year at this time, everyone has to be EMV compliant, which means that all of the point of sale systems and all the technology needs to be switched out. And while that is a challenge, it's also a huge opportunity for us as it relates to growing this business. You know, we're right there with display screens. Right here in Knoxville, you see a 21-inch display screen that's integrated on top of the pump. We're moving down to a 10.5-inch display screen that's actually built into the point of sale system. So when you swipe your credit card, I mean, think of this, you swipe your credit card, it can read your preferences and what you bought last time you were in that location, and then build a playlist based off of that, right? So it knows that at 9 o'clock in the morning, you come in, you get your cup of coffee. Well, it knows that, you know, you probably, a week ago, you bought a chocolate glazed donut. It's going to push you an ad with a chocolate glazed donut, right? So again, effectively what we're doing is we're building these personalized experience right at the fuel pump. And we're doing it off of these key consumer buying variables and actual sales data. And actually, when you swipe your credit card or through your customer loyalty program app, if you have a pilot app, for example, if you have a pilot loyalty program app, again, there's an opportunity to have access to data and to predict exactly what that particular customer may buy or may want to buy.